my dear friends. Welcome for the second session of this week. That is, it's Tuesday and it is the second session of this week. And let me welcome all of you for Knowledge Capsule segment. Believe me, I'm really excited. I'm thrilled by the love that you're sharing me. Thank you for all the views, likes, shares, and comments. And now let me start the slides for today's presentation. Today being Tuesday, I've shared you every Tuesdays, we shall be discussing how we can bring in and enhance foundational numeracy in early years. So every Tuesday topics is foundational numeracy. And as I move ahead, today in this session, we shall discuss about 20 significant numeracy skills that can be started from the age of 2+. So when I say 20 significant numeracy skills, it is just not 20. There are other general skills that is required, like observing, motor skills, and there are some other general skills also. But I am figuring out the 20 important, very significant numeracy skills that we can start from the age of 2+. So I welcome you for this presentation, and let's try to know, because we first need to know what are those skills, and then we can understand how we can start using these skills. So as I move ahead, the first 5 skills are: one is grouping. Grouping is very, very important skill that we must start from 2+. So we can group colors, we can group shapes, we can group patterns, we can group things that the child can understand. So now as I discuss this, I'd love to hear from you in this comment box why we can use or how we can use the skill of grouping in next years, that is from the age of 3+, 4+, 5+ and above. And the next numeracy skill is sorting. When the child understands to group, it is very, very important, relevant for the child to start in both activities or in both the skills. The child is using the visual sense very, very strongly. The child should be able to sort when you mix the things. The child should be able to sort. The variables could be 1, but I don't recommend to increase the variables from 1 at the age of 2+. But when we go to 3+, we can increase or make the variables complex, which I will be discussing in my coming videos. For now, let's understand that by age of 2, the child should also start using, not master. The child will not master. So the child should master the skill of sorting. It could be anything. It could be toys. It could be fruits, it could be vegetables, it could be anything, but the child need to understand on what variable he is sorting the group. The next is matching. Very, very crucial, important activity or skill that we must start from 2+. The child should be able to match 2 similar things. Now, what happens when the child is matching 2 things? Lot of evaluation is happening in the child's brain. The child is observing, which is very, very crucial to match 2 same things. The child is observing very, very keenly, looking at the parameters, thinking are both the same in his own way, looking at whatever could be the visual identity for the child to understand. But the child is looking at all the parameters to conclude or to solve a problem. So all these skills are coming up when the child is doing or engaging in the skill. The child will be able to decide which 2 objects match. And there is a lot of process that happens in the child's brain while using the skill of matching. So I would say that matching activity shouldn't be on the worksheets first. I would highly recommend to do all these activities with objects. Real objects are best, and when we don't have real objects, use synthetic objects in initial days. When the child need to match an apple to apple, let him hold it, let him feel it, let him use his own parameters to identify an apple to another apple. Let him compare an apple and orange, see the differences visually, understand the similarities between 2 apples. So it is very, very important and crucial for us to provide the child with real or feel real objects. It's very important. Please note this. We generally don't do these things and take the worksheets primarily and make the child to match same things. Please refrain from that. Now skip is one more numeracy skill. You know where all we need skip in future, right? From 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus and above, we need the skill of skipping numbers. So the child needs to understand what is skip. So that foundation can be laid in 2 plus, wherein we provide activities and the child will understand here in the brain what is skipping. So once I skip, then through games or through some other activities, you can make the child skip some other objects, and only later stages 3, 4 plus, we can use the skip counting in various other mathematical operations. So let the child understand the meaning of skill, which is very, very important. Next is draw. Yes, drawing is also very, very important skill to develop, just not for numeracy, but for every non-verbal expression. The child needs to be good in drawing skills. So please see to that the child is provided with ample opportunities. Maybe at 2 plus, the child is most of the times shy and doesn't want to venture new things. But please, if you can encourage the child to draw things, that would be a wonderful activity for the child, and help him to draw just not objects. Okay, when I say drawing, this can enhance even literacy also. When I say drawing, okay, 2 plus, we just start and we cannot expect the child to get through that. But when the child is able to draw a simple sun, okay, first a simple sun, and say suppose you can draw a house and you can say sun is on the top. The child should be able to make the connection between the two pictures in the within his drawing. So making connection, that skill is enhanced, and graphical representation or expression through non-verbal language is also enhanced when we start. It has only to be started, it has to be ignited. And believe me, if we start doing these things from the age of 2 plus 3 plus, by 4 plus, believe me, the development in brain, because we all understand the child's brain develop between 0 to 6 years very, very rapidly. And these activities and how we deal or how we analyze the activity determines the growth of the brain, which is not visible for us. So please encourage the child to draw, make 2-3 pictures, then relate the pictures, and let the child now next try to express the relativity in his pictures. Next is copying. Drawing is very, very easy because it's very creative. It's quite easy. Copying is not as easy as drawing. When you are copying something, you must see to that you are exactly matching that. And the child needs to observe a lot. For this, the child needs to observe, the child needs to have concentration, the child needs to have lot of focus while copying. So please encourage the child to copy. Use some simple shapes, simple things. The child may not be perfect from the beginning, but eventually when we start practicing, the child will become. So we will discuss all these things in details in coming class. I'm just going to name 20 skills in today's session. Next is counting. Should I really tell the importance of this skill? I'm sure all of you understand, but how are we bringing this skill and how are we enhancing? How are we helping the child to use this skill to solve his everyday life is a challenge for us. So we will look into all these things. In the next numerical skill is arranging things or numbers or ordering numbers. In coming days, the child will be using this. But what we can do from 2 plus or playgroup is allow the child to arrange randomly. The child should understand the concept of arrange. First is arrange. Let it be a random arrangement. It's okay. As he arranges his things one after another, there is again lots of skills involved in this. Fine motor development, hand-eye coordination. There are too many other skills, developing skills. So the child will arrange the objects one after another in a sequence, in a series that can follow a pattern, that can become a sequence or not. Let the child be very, very free and comfortable while using this skill, but we need to ask them arrange. So every day you can take one of these activities. We work for 20 days, and every day if you can pick one of these and do some activities, you will see by the end of your playgroup session the child will be absolutely ready for foundational numeracy in the nursery class. So let the child learn to arrange. Next is spatial orientation, understanding the position or relativity of objects in space or in environment. It could be space or it could be in the child's environment. Like I can say there is a bottle next to me. Okay, something up, down, all these things, wherein the child will understand the relativity of things around him in his environment with his where the point of reference is the child. So let child start exploring all spatial orientations, all different aspects of spatial concepts. Next is sizes and dimension. Let the child explore various sizes. Sizes now is the object should be the same. Here we cannot change the object, but the sizes and the dimensions should be different for the child to understand the variation in the dimension. So one is big, bigger, biggest. So the child will be needing all these skills in future numeracy, not far future numeracy, the kinder numeracy or the early numeracy. The child will need this skill. So when the child is working, in case the child is now have some square blocks and you're asking the child to arrange it, you don't know, as the child arrange, the child may understand the difference in size, may explore arranging it in a series. So this is wonderful way of making them learn. No pressure, no in bringing up these concepts in playgroup. It is left to the child's exploration on how creatively he wants to take, how much of complexity the child needs to enhance in his own activity should be determined by the child. Coming next, the 11th one is comparison. Very, very important. Every aspect that I'm sharing is important. The child needs to compare length, size, distance, time, everything in his life. The child needs to compare every quantity and every quality when I say good, bad, or anything. So the child needs to compare. So we will get to know more in detail in coming videos how this skill can be introduced in playgroup and how it can be enhanced in foundational numeracy. Shapes, I think I need not tell much, which is very, very important, but I would say 4 shapes should be enough for 2+, because we should not be introducing all the 8 shapes. Even some schools do practice that. 4 shapes should be more enough for the child to recognize by the age of 2, and let it be a 2D shape, no 3D shape. The child will get confused. So please use a 2D teaching aid while doing the shape. And we need not teach the specifications of this shapes in playgroup or at 2+. No specifications should be told. As I discuss one by one in future sessions, I will let you know. The child only needs to identify the shape, and if it is possible, one shape that the child see in that shape in his environment. The next is time. Again, very, very important. How we can start the time is every day just telling the time, checking the time with the child. The child need not look at the, in the case, read the time from the clock, but every time you say it's 9 o'clock, just let kids see the clock if it is displayed in the classroom. Say it is 10 o'clock. We don't know what the child will understand. Please point at the clock and say it's 10 o'clock. Next, again, use this for everything. It's 11 o'clock and we have a snack break. So we are starting with the concept of time. So it's 12 o'clock. It's time to go home. Here the child will understand the relativity between time and the actions we do in every day. So time management, time, understanding how we spend time, everything can be started off when the child start using the skill in playgroup classes. Measurement is again one more very, very important thing. We don't want to measure using a ruler using a tape. No, measurement can be done visually. It could be just a measurement could be done visually. We can use foot, we can use our hands. We need the child to explore that measurement is a skill wherein he can start using this. For example, I can show this bottle and I say, don't you think this bottle is quite tall? Can we measure this? It is not as tall as my forehand. So it could be anything like that. Believe me, these are the things that the child needs to learn in school. 1, 2, 3, they will learn eventually. So when I take this phone, then I say, let me again measure it. Look here, my forearm is so big than this phone, and it is very, very short. I think this phone is as tall or as long as my palm. So now the child needs to measure using palm, forehand, measuring using foot, then through Montessori activities, measuring using spoon, ladle, anything. I'll give you more light on this. But for now, please understand measurement is an important skill. Pattern. There are two types of pattern. One is standing line, sleeping line. Yes, very, very crucial and important. The other one is observing the pattern around. So what are the patterns observed? So observe on animals, observe on birds, observe in the class. So observing patterns and finding a pattern is a very, very important skill that we need to start. Sequencing, very, very important. All these things are elements of numeracy. So what can we sequence? We can sequence the day's activity. We can sequence the activities in school. We can sequence the activities in next 1 hour. We can recall the activities or sequence the activities that we did in past 1 hour. We can do anything. In once in a month, you can find an activity wherein you can use this numeracy skill. Join and mix. Next 4, very, very important, my dear friends, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Very important because join or mix. Now we are making the child join few things or mix up few things. And eventually, when you are introducing the counting skills also, the child may explore addition, or this will become the source to introduce the addition concept in your classroom. Similarly, remove. So from a group, if you ask them to remove all the in a group of balls, mixed color balls, if you ask them to remove only blue balls, it is not sorting. You are removing only the blue balls. The otherwise the group has many other color balls. So when you do it as an activity, you will see the child will be engrossed to do these activities. This can lay the foundation for future subtraction. Making sets, then again give them some colored balls and ask them to make sets. This can be a foundation for multiplication tables. I'll tell you how in my next videos. And finally, break or divide. So you can break, divide. This can be a basics to introduce division, fractions, and so many other complex concepts in the next years. So my dear friends, I shared all the 20 key numeracy skills. I've just pointed it, but I will be elaborating all these things in coming videos. So please wait for my videos every Tuesday to know more about foundational numeracy. Don't forget to register for my upcoming webinar on Friday. You will learn so many new techniques in coding phonics methodology. I invite each one of you to attend my webinar on Friday. And thank you so much for being with me in this session. And if you found this information useful, kindly like, comment, and share. Thank you so much for keeping me encouraged. And in next session, we shall start elaborating all the 20 numeracy skills, how we can use this skill at the age of 2+, how the same skill can be enhanced at 3+, 4+, 5+, so that we leave no stone unturned for the child to fail in foundational numeracy. Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you for watching this video. I wish each one of you a very, very happy learning. Tata, bye-bye. See you tomorrow in my next session.